We've got the lowest crime rate, I think, in the state of Texas. Just nothing happens here.
For a place where nothing happens, they sure have a lot to see, it seems.
So that really is what built the town, was all of the railroad work, and then you've got the ranching.
In Sanderson, Texas, down at the Terrell County Museum, curator C.W. Bill Smith is a walking encyclopedia of names, places, and dates spanning the 100-plus years this isolated desert community has existed. It was a bustling community then.
It really was. In 1950, we hit our peak population of 3,500 people.
And then June 11th, 1965.
I didn't know what to think. I said, my goodness, this is the end of the world.
They didn't even know that it was coming.
You never forget the water rushing in, my dad panicking.
I started praying, and I prayed all the way to the first bridge. And when we got to the bridge, the water was going over it.
People watched their families die. Washed down the creek, they could hear them screaming as they went.
My dad was coming. He was trying to come to save us, and that's when he went towards the house to try to save us, and that's where he never made it.
I called to God because I had nobody else.
It was just a massive wall of water and debris.
No one here in Sanderson who survived forgets where they were that dreadful morning of Friday, June 11th, 1965. Witnesses say rain fell all night, but slowed to a drizzle at dawn. Only thing is, up the canyon northwest of town, a freak storm triggered a flash flood, one of those things only desert dwellers understand, and without any warning at all, an enormous wall of water and thousands of tons of debris slammed into this unsuspecting community. We're in the middle of the desert.
That's the really ironic thing about all of this is normally our creek bed is dry, but it rained about 20 miles to the west, a 12-inch rain. That water has no place to go except come down the canyons. And then right here at the edge of town, there are two canyons feeding into the main canyon, and they all hit at the same time. And in this case here, we have some photos.
On display in this glass case are the memories of that terrible morning that injured dozens and killed 26 people, two of which have never been found. Several years ago, Bill set out to collect the memories of that deadly morning. It may have been a half-century ago, but he found out quickly that the nightmares have never stopped.
Some folks climbed up on their adobe houses, and the houses melted, and they were thrown into the water. There was a little motel down here across this creek, and the water hit, and most of the people in that motel drowned. Just story after story of awful things that happened. The flood jumped the creek bank and went through our two cemeteries and washed most of the graves out of the ground. So we had dead bodies, recently deceased people, mixed in with the flood victims. When you go out, if you look at the big mass stone that they put up, if you'll look behind that big stone, you'll see the gravestones that they didn't have a place to put those, so they just put them along the fence behind that big stone. Nobody had an accurate map of the cemetery, so they didn't know where to put them. People were so shocked because it had never happened like that before. I'm going to get upset. Sorry.
That flood destroyed all power and communication to the outside world. With little resources to work with, Terrell County Sheriff Bill Cooksey quickly organized a monumental rescue operation. Eric Cooksey was just a boy then.
You could see all the way to the canyon, and the water was just raging. House trailers and all kinds of debris washing through. And he turned to me and said, "If you live to be 100, you won't see something like this again."
I want to thank each one of y'all that is here today. This is a great event. Sad, absolutely, but I just want to thank everyone. A lot of work has gone into this. We welcome you to the unveiling of our historical marker and the brief ceremony remembering the victims, survivors, and heroes of our 1965 flood.
We've waited a long time for our historic marker to come in.
It was early in the morning, June of '65.
In a somber ceremony to unveil their long overdue official Texas State historical marker, Eric offers a healing anthem.
The memories, they haunt this town, those who lived it and those who died in the flood of '65.
Honoring the victims, the heroes, and the lingering aftermath of unthinkable suffering.
In the flood of '65.
Only 4 or 5 months later, he was shot in the line of duty.
It's been a downhill slope since then.
How many people now?
Now we have about, I believe it's about 800 people.
Here on the roadside of old Highway 90, they slip back a thin cover, revealing a nightmare that is now etched in metal.
It was pretty nice. I'm happy after this long period of time.
Raised letters, frozen and standing tall, as if cast from the strength of those who have carried this memory for so long.
I wish that our marker could tell more about how the people in this town saved each other and how they bent their backs to the task of rebuilding the town, that we didn't just all fly away and run for our lives. I wish we could tell that story better, that this town is worth saving.
Thanks for hopping in and traveling with us. Now click the subscribe button for more videos like the one you just saw.